You're here because you're on one of two paths. You're either a fairly new instructor and you're looking to enhance your teaching skills, develop your teaching methods, understand what cues work, look at the client moving and be able to change things on the spot, and most importantly, be able to relate to the client that's in front of you so that you don't lose them. Or you're on this path where you have a little bit more experience and you know that developing teaching skills is crucial for the success of your career. And you're possibly also struggling to retain clients right now. I'm going to show you the methods that nobody is teaching you that you can implement immediately after this 1 hour course that's going to get your clients to lock in, listen, and get results. This is what we're going to cover. The business reality check. Even if you are not a business owner, you are your own brand and you should make a success of your career even if you are an employee. The science behind why teaching skill is your greatest asset. The 12 teaching tips that change everything. And then what the real problem is. The knowing and the knowledge versus the implementing of the knowledge that you actually have and merging those two so that you can deliver excellent classes. And then I'm going to end it off with an amazing challenge for you so that you don't just watch the video and move swiftly along. You actually have something that you can action in a short space of time to make the change. I'm going to teach you how to become a teaching outlier. Everything that you've learned about teaching in the past, and I'm talking to fitness professionals, Pilates instructors, yoga instructors, if you teach exercise, everything that you've learned about teaching, I want you to put it aside because I'm going to show you the most important factors that's going to land incredibly with your clients in every single class. I'm going to show you how to use your voice, where to stand, what cueing works, how to talk less, how to demonstrate less, and how to get clients that want to come back for more and more and more. Because you see, this is how we build our career. This is how we build our businesses. This is how we get results for our clients. You can have so much anatomical knowledge. And I know that there are people out there that have a tremendous amount of knowledge. But if you cannot transfer that knowledge that you have into a moving person that is in front of you, and we know that all those bodies are different, this knowledge is not going to help you. I know educators who have a tremendous amount of knowledge, but they can't teach. So if they can't teach, how do they teach the students what to actually do with that knowledge? So my passion is to help instructors just nail their teaching skills. I want to help you discover a new way to bring the message over to your clients so that initially you think more because you're trying to coordinate everything, but eventually it's less work, less demonstration. And not only that, you're going to instantly have this boost of confidence because you're going to feel like, I know what I'm doing and I know that the client knows exactly what I want. And look, he's dying, she's dying, she's relaxed. He's totally going out of fight or flight mode. Just by the use of my voice, I'm able to create the pace and the feel. I can press deeper, reach higher, open it out, lengthen, curve, chin in. And I'm going to teach you exactly how we do these cues, shorten them into bullet points, and make it work for the client so that they never leave. You'll become irreplaceable. Once they get a taste of this teaching style, they're hooked. They don't want to go to anybody else. No AI can replace you. Studios can open up all around you. They're going nowhere. That's what we're going to do. So in the first comment here, I'm going to put the link for the manual because I always have one. And I like something in my hand. And we're going to go through this. I want to give you something that you can refer back to. Now, I previously taught the teaching methodology workshop. And in that workshop, we go so deep into absolutely every point that I'm going to show you today. And in case you're wondering, my name is Tanya Thompson, and I've been in this industry for like over 30 years. And my whole purpose and goal is to help you become exceptional at what you do and to help you build the confidence that's needed when you work with people on a daily basis. I've identified the most important factors that you need to implement if you're going to make a success of this career. And I'm even bringing the science into this because there is a science behind teaching, communication, getting people to listen, and getting people to want to spend time with you. And that means if they're going to come and pay you money, you've got to give them something back that's more than just exercises, repertoire. Because let's face it, right on YouTube, they can go now and go get a full playlist of exercises, which means half of the instructors in this world, if not more, I'm maybe going to go for 80%, don't have a job. They're not necessary because clients can literally go and get exercise programs. So you've got to figure out what is the one thing, my X factor, the secret sauce that I can deliver to my clients so that they absolutely become 100% addicted to my services. Like I said, knowledge and skill, you bring those together and you are unstoppable. There is no doubt in my mind. So how did I get to this point? Many years ago, when I was really young, I was in school and I was lucky enough to fall in love with public speaking. And now you're watching me on this video and you may be going, yes, I can see that. But it gave me a skill to the point where I can stand here today and tell you that those skills I implemented in my teaching. Because when I was on course and I was a student, I was looking at everybody in the room and I was watching us being taught how to teach these exercises. And for some other reason, just because I had this public speaking and I had a form of communicating easily, I could teach. So I was able to deliver the message to the client. I was able to engage with the client. I was comfortable making eye contact with the client. But most of the students in the room looked super uncomfortable and very unsure. And the one thing that I noticed was the person that was teaching us, in other words, the lecturer, did not notice that. And the lecturer did not say, guys, now that we've learned the exercise, let's really learn how to dig deep into the cueing, where to stand using tactile cueing, how to use your voice, how to meet the client where they are. It was nowhere. And what proceeded after that, and I mean, I was like 20 years old, the students on the actual course, they would come to me and say, can you help me? And I was a student with them. But I had something that they saw would be valuable for them. And this just continued to spiral. And during my career, I noticed that there is such a massive gap in two areas. Learning anatomy and biomechanics and applying it, it doesn't happen as it should. Because nobody's body is the same. We're talking about billions of people. How can we all be exactly the same? We're not. And the second thing is the teaching side of it. And those two pillars are the most important pillars that we have to make a success of a career that teaches movement of the body. Doesn't matter what movement it is. So you can see, if you go into the gym, and I see this all the time, and even in Pilates studios, I can see the disconnect between instructor and client. There's like this barrier between the two of them. The cues aren't landing, the client isn't feeling it, the energy or the aura in that space is not conducive to growth, success, and results. So if we can take these two pillars and we can merge them, we're unstoppable, guys. And that is why I'm here today. That is my passion, and I'm going to show you how to do this. The first thing I want us to just go through is, when you look at the industry as it is, you will see that there's a divide across all industries. You've got people who feel strongly about this and people who feel strongly about that. And often, a group wants you to be part of that tribe, which means you have to fit into that mold. And I've seen that the teaching molds specifically are all the same. The reason I am doing this today is because I know, and I really believe deeply in my heart, that 80% of the sessions that are getting taught worldwide are boring as hell. It is boring. People don't want to pay for that anymore. They would rather train themselves, and that's why instructors have such a high turnover of clients. You think that it's because they don't have money, or you think it's because they're just busy. I have spoken to so many clients just on our social media. I have instructors following us, and I have clients following us, people who should be training with you. And they're constantly messaging me saying, how can we train with you? How do we find an instructor like you? My instructor doesn't listen to me. My instructor never cues that. My instructor never helps me understand this. Oh my gosh, I can't believe you just explained to me perfectly what I should be feeling, and I actually felt it. The kinesthetic cues that you give are so on point. Clients want that. They want that special experience. It's like when you go to a day spa, you've got like 4 day spas to choose from. These first 2 are okay. You'll only go to them if you're really, really desperate. This one's not bad. First choice, definitely this one. Because here you feel seen, heard, that massage was amazing. Everybody's treating you like gold. You want to go there. The same thing applies in a space like this. That means, for me, that was my first step. I don't want to teach like everybody else. I'm literally going to give up on this job. And I nearly did. I went to start studying interior architecture because I was like, if I teach another pelvic curl like this, I'm going to die. This has to change. And so I started developing skills because I was also taught to constantly demonstrate. And I'm like, I can't demonstrate 8 to 10 hours a day. Like, how am I supposed to do that? The poor last guy at the end of the day is going to get like a fifth of my energy, my vibe, and my skill because I've been training all day. So I gave myself these things that I needed to do to stop demonstrating. I said to myself, you're not allowed to demonstrate. You're only allowed to use your words. And if you demonstrate, you're going to use your body. You're not going to drop on the mat. Your arms are going to become your legs. Your body is going to show them to tuck through. You're going to show them to come up higher. You're going to say, reach up and over. So I say, that's what you're going to do, Tanya. It's like no demonstration except with your body while you're standing. Then I said, okay, on top of this, you've got the public speaking and the drama, and you're going to bring in voice. Because we know voice is powerful. You know, when you get home, and you meet your family member and they go, hello. You're like, oh my soul, do I have energy for this? Bad day. Or family member phones you like, hi, how are you doing? And they go, I'm okay. You immediately go, do I have the energy for this? Because you take on other people's energy. And the same applies here. You are the teacher, so you have to give the energy over to the client. You have to shift it. So when they come in and they're kind of at a lower energy, you can meet them where they are and say, hey, how are you doing? They can say, oh, I've had a bad week. And then you go, oh, I'm sorry to hear that. Not a problem. And then there I change. I'm going to do such a great session for you today that you are going to feel so good by the end of the session. That's my goal. Immediately, you have a little bit of a switch in the vibe and the energy. You met them where they were at, and then you started just slowly molding it to uplift it a little bit. It's worth gold, but it is a skill. Not everybody's born with it, but I have seen instructors who are teaching flat, boring sessions literally start blooming when they start implementing what I'm going to share with you. When we learn something new, and this has always been a big thing for me, if I'm on a mission, which happens a lot, if I see that there's something that I want to do, I go all into this thing and I implement it within normally 24 hours and no later than a week. I become so obsessed with it. Now, you are going to have to decide how important this is for you to change your teaching style or to learn new skills, because only you know what you're feeling inside and what you're thinking here. Only you know whether you feel good enough. Only you know the depth of your imposter syndrome. Only you know the uncomfortable silences that happen while you are teaching. Only you know what you're thinking in the room when you don't know what to say and you're faking it. So just those statements are enough for me to say, if any of that resonates with you, you need to get desperate enough to take action. You have to take action. Otherwise, I'm going to tell you, the career is not going to work. You're not going to make a success of this. You're always going to be charging below everybody else to make sure that you get the people in. So please, please make a serious decision. When I learn this, I'm going to try it. And I'm not going to try it once because the first time I do it, it doesn't work so well because, hell, this is crazy. I'm super uncomfortable. Uncomfortable is fantastic. It means you're totally stepping out of your comfort zone and your brain is like doing like this inside, and you are literally changing the way that you do things. You've got to get uncomfortable for this. When you teach boring sessions or mediocre sessions, it means that you need a lot of clients because you can only charge a certain amount for a mediocre average session. That's your vibe, your energy, and your skill. When you become an outlier and you are phenomenal at your teaching, you don't need so many clients because people pay for quality. People don't pay for rubbish. They don't pay for it. When you give them quality, they will pay you. To give you an idea, this studio that I have here, this is my second one. My first one was much bigger and we had like 13 instructors. And then when I opened the second one, I said, I want to change the business model completely. I have a lot of international clients that I'm teaching online. I have 30 years experience. I do this for a living. I teach instructors how to be phenomenal. I need to earn my keep. I need to earn what I'm worth. And you know what that does for me? Because I know what this person is paying me, it doesn't matter how exhausted I am that day. I can step into the space and deliver because I know I'm getting paid a really good amount for this session. I'm getting paid more than any other instructor per hour in my country, right? And when I put that fee out there, I had the confidence to feel that I can own it. It is mine. I am good at this, and that's what I'm charging. And of course, those limiting beliefs come in where you're like, geez, I actually don't know if anybody's going to pay me that. Like, this is ridiculous. So I kind of put it there and to see what happens. What happened was unbelievable. I was fully booked within like 2 months. People asking me whether they can come with me. And then the next minute, I have a wait list of clients. Even now, I've got people waiting for a slot. But what will make them pay? If I over-deliver every single time. You can't ask people to pay for this. You need to ask people to pay for this. Now they're willing to part with their hard-earned cash because the teaching that I'm going to teach you is going to get results. And I don't want you to see this as like a rushing and gushing river. Like as in, oh my gosh, I've got to do everything right now. I want you to visualize, and I'm a visual person, I love visualizing. I want you to visualize a light stream that just goes over this stone and that stone, and it trickles over and it trickles over, and all it's doing is every time it goes over a stone, it's another step that you took to do it differently, and another step that you took to do it differently, and another step that you took. Instead of gushing and pushing all of those stones out of the way, I want you to master this little stepping stone and master that one and master that one. So look at this as being like a year's challenge for yourself, or a month's challenge, however much time you give yourself to make this happen. If it was me, it would be a week's challenge. It's all about what you're thinking in here and how badly you need to do it. And let me tell you, this work comes with confidence. You have to start believing in your own ability. If you don't believe that you can do this, you will never do it. I have seen instructors who you would never expect to do this, who nail it once I've worked with them. Everybody can do it. It just depends how badly you want it. The business reality check. Often instructors come and ask me for advice on their business. Now, normally you would go to a business guy and he's going to give you all the tips and strategies and things that you need to do to grow your business. The first thing that I look at is your mindset. Where are you, and how much faith do you have in yourself as a teacher? Nothing else. Not even talking business now. Because if you don't have the foundational faith for the action that you perform every single day with your clients, you can go and learn as many business strategies as you want. That energy is in the space. You don't believe that you are good. You don't believe that you can do this. The second thing I ask is, well, what are you charging for your sessions? Because that immediately gives me a reflection of what you think you are worth. And this is obviously geographical as well. Where do I live? What are my surroundings like? How much money do the people have around me? Are we in an average, income space? Are we at a higher bracket? Are we at a lower bracket? And how am I going to tweak it so that I can get maximum output depending on where I am? But if you're in a middle to upper class space and you're charging low fees, it's here. It's because you don't feel that you are worth more than that. And then the most important thing for me is I teach all of our students to do an assessment. Clients like to know that you've observed them before you give them a training program. It gives them that personal touch. They love it. They tell me that every single time. When we get a DM from somebody that's not an instructor, it's for me to assess something because nobody's assessing them. So why aren't you assessing them? It is like something where you lock them in and you're like, I see you. I know what you need. I understand the body, and now I understand your body. So the first question I ask the instructor is, when you do an assessment, or if you don't do an assessment, the first session that you do, what is the percentage of clients that return for a month after that assessment? Maybe they come for the second session because they think, okay, it was an assessment, it wasn't that great, but maybe now with the exercises it's going to be better. And then they're there for a month and then you don't really see them. They start fading. If they fade within a month of starting with you, I am telling you the teaching is a problem. The skill that you're bringing into the class is lacking. It's a massive problem. It is so big, I cannot even tell you. It is the difference between eating a cake that flopped and a cake that was made that looks amazing by a talented baker. That is the difference. Do you want to eat the flopped cake and pay for it the same price as what you're going to pay for this incredible cake? No. That's the difference in teaching. So why does teaching skill matter? And this is what I love, because I'm teaching you this stuff and you're like, this is her opinion. No, it's not. Because there is science behind this, and I knew it. When I went on this journey, I was like, why do people love the way that I teach so much? Like, why do they love it? Is it the communication behind it? Is it the voice? Like, what's actually happening here? Somebody said, you're such a pedagogical teacher. And I was like, okay, that's awesome. And then I realized, when I really dug into this, there's a lot of research on this stuff. If you think of the client as your student and you're the teacher, you are imparting knowledge on them and you're trying to get a response from them, which means your communication has to be on point. So I've got some stats there for you, which I think are quite interesting. 65% of fitness clients quit within 6 months. Hectic. And it's not because of the workout. 38% of communication impact is through the tone of your voice. You know that. You can totally spot the happy person in the room. You can spot the chilled one. You can spot the angry one. And you can spot the one who's totally hyper. And you can spot the highly sad one. It's easy. It's in the tone. And it happens super quickly. I want to show you the 120 millisecond stat there. Is the time a client forms a judgment about you in 120 milliseconds. Guys, like that, they've looked at you. You didn't make eye contact. You didn't notice they were in the room. Your body language showed them everything. Your tone showed them everything. 120 milliseconds, they've decided who you are and whether you resonate with them. Then, an alarming high percent of 70% of instructors say that they suffer from imposter syndrome. And that for me is terrible, because if you're trying to make people feel better about their health and wellness, you cannot feel this massive amount of imposter syndrome. And don't get me wrong, you're going to go through phases. Maybe you're learning something. Maybe you go to our shoulder work and you have a look at it and you're like, oh my gosh, this stuff is crazy. It's insane. And now I realize I didn't know what I was doing and I have such imposter syndrome now. For me, that's not necessarily a bad thing, because as soon as you identify it, it means that there's an opportunity to learn something and to delete that little piece that gave you imposter syndrome. But to have imposter syndrome for an extended period of time and do nothing about it is going to be to the detriment of your career, your sanity, and your clients sticking around. They're just going to leave. So when we look at knowledge versus teaching skill, this is important. I feel like instructors are always trying to get new anatomical and biomechanical knowledge, because I know clients come in and this one's got a hip and that one's got a lateral tilt and this one's got a right shoulder issue and that one's got scoliosis and they can't bridge up and you don't know why and you're trying to figure it out and the anatomy is not making sense because the book said this but the client does that. This one's bigger in the upper body and skinnier in the legs, and when she moves it doesn't make sense. I understand all of that. But what you need to understand is that experience and information and learning never stops. It happens over time. You learn about the hip and the shoulder and the knee, and then you get this issue with a client and a spinal fusion, and as these things pop up, you start learning about them. You're not going to know everything right from the start. And that's why I say, if you go and learn from an educator, you have to learn from an educator who physically works with people like this. Because if it's an educator who's just going purely on what the book says, purely on what a study says, and they've never actually touched that human being and a few of them with the same issue, I don't want to learn from them. Because the book says this, the study said that, and she's not feeling any of that. So I want to learn from somebody who is practical, which means I have to go on a search and it's going to take me time. When you have a look at the teaching skill side of things, you can do it right now. You can change your voice, your cueing, and your presence. And when I say voice, we're looking at deleting all monotone teaching, because nobody can train and feel really good after a session when an instructor talks to them like this for a full hour. And you want them to work hard and you want their body to feel like it's actually doing something. But you're going 1, 2, 3, keep going. Last 2, 1, relax. That doesn't encourage anybody. If you can learn to do intonations and inflections in your voice, game changer. Clients are like, it feels meditative. I can remember assessing a young guy's exam the one day, and I had hammered with my students. I hammer on with the teaching. We have an entire module that is just dedicated to teaching. And I know that course providers don't do that. A full module where we're like, we're going to nail teaching. It's just teaching. And examples and videos and examples and videos. And so he took this really seriously. And he was not doing that before because he was actually a gymnastics instructor. And I sat down and I was assessing his teaching, supposing to sit there and write loads and loads of notes, not realizing that I am now in this tunnel of just listening to his voice, and it is mesmerizing. I'm loving it. And eventually I'm like, oh my goodness, I'm supposed to actually be writing notes down now. Let me just focus. And at the end of any exam like that, I always say to the client, how did that feel? Tell me, did you enjoy the session? Not in front of the student, obviously. That client came to me and said, I don't know what it was, but I literally felt like I was meditating while I was training. And I'm like, I felt the same, just sitting on the side watching. And it was all because of this that was coming out of his mouth. How he was using his voice. Guys, I cannot stress the importance of that enough. You know, if you're talking to your children and they're doing something wrong, you don't go, I don't want you to do that again. Don't ever do that again. That's very dangerous. You don't do that because that doesn't sound like danger. You go, I don't want you to ever do that again. Don't do that. It is dangerous. You are going to get hurt. The kid is like, huh? Eye contact, pauses, solid words, finishing every single word. There is that communication of stop and listen. When you've got a new puppy and she's going for your shoe, you don't go for the shoe. Leave the shoe. You go, stop, no, stop. Because that means stop. Even dogs know what stop means. So, but nobody knows what stop means. So these things make a difference. The other thing that you can learn is rhythm, body language. I cannot tell you how much I use my body in my standing position. If I'm getting somebody to do ab work, I'm not going to lie on the mat and go copy me, because I really want to push you harder. I want to get as many reps out of you as I can, or I want to load you more and get maximum out of you. That means that I cannot be doing this with you, because as soon as I'm fatiguing, I'm stopping. And so are you then. So I love to use my body language. So exhale, bringing the chest up, hold it. We're going to keep it here. Pulse up to me. 1 and 2, lifting 3 and 4. Last one. Hold it and lowering it down. Reaching the leg out. Extend 1. This is a leg. Extending 2. Straightening 3. And I do the rhythm with my body. So when the client's going all over the place and not doing what I want them to do, I'm going to go stop. Who doesn't stop when you go stop? Stop. Let's go. Reaching 1 with me. You say it like that. With me. Not with me. It's not strong enough. With me. Reaching 1. Extending 2. Reaching 3 and 4. We're going to speed it up. Now, when I'm there, they don't do the next one because I haven't moved my arm. We're going to speed it up. Reaching 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. Last 2 and hold. Bring it in. Lower everything down. Using your body language. It's like a game changer. You don't have to demonstrate. You also keep your energy throughout the session. You don't get these moments where you're like, I'm so exhausted, like my eyes are so heavy right now. Because I'm moving, I'm showing, I'm explaining, I'm intentional with my cues and my voice, I keep my own energy level up. You know those fatigued moments that you get? Out the window. You can fatigue tonight when you get home. You can be like, my body language exhausted me. But right now, in this space, I'm using it. When you're looking at teaching skills and you're looking at knowledge, know that the teaching skills is your fastest route to retaining clients, even though the knowledge isn't there. The knowledge is coming. And I had a guy working at my studio many years ago. He was a young guy and he didn't have a lot of knowledge. He was a newly qualified instructor, but he had a vibe. He was charismatic. He could use his voice. He used all of these tips and cues that I'm giving you today, and I went through it with him over and over and over, that the other instructors who'd been working with me for a while were kind of taken aback when clients came in and said, I want him. The client didn't know that they were going, I want the guy with the least knowledge but the most skill. Right? I don't care that he doesn't know everything. I just feel good when I train with him. That's why you need to do this. The 12 teaching tips that change absolutely everything. Number 1, voice, intonation, and inflections. 38% of impact is tone. And your falling intonation brings authority over to your client. You can't say, I just want you to stay a little bit higher. And can you just hold that for me, please? As soon as you go, I just want you to stay a little bit higher. And can you hold that for me, please? Immediately, doesn't matter who you're teaching. In all honesty, I love teaching male clients. They are focused, they want results, and we can get straight into it. I resonate really well with male clients. That means that I have to bring authority and discipline over into the class. Now you might be thinking, but is this not controlling teaching? Because the industry says we cannot be controlling teachers. You know, you've got like the autonomous learning and then you've got the controlling. Like, this is too much. Do you know what? We need to get a bit of control, guys, because there is no control right now. It's just all over the place. So initially, it feels like there's a lot of control happening, but the more control you take or you create in the beginning, the less you'll need as time goes. Because the client learns that this is a place of discipline, structure, and professionalism. And they start moving beautifully, listening easily, and eventually you can release the control. That's powerful. But in order to take charge, you need control. So we have people saying, delete the controlling teaching. I'm telling you, you need a bit more of that. That is everything that industry is not telling you. You need more of that because you don't have control now. And when you start delivering control, everybody listens. It doesn't matter how many people are in the group class. I get this question a lot. What about a group class? No, it's challenging. You've got people in the class, some people you don't even know their names. Body language and pace. Body language and pace are going to be the factors that change that entire experience for you so that you feel like you are in control. So when we look at intonations and inflections, we look at things like reach, hold, keep it. Or a correction is just a statement, chin in. You don't go chin in. When you ask somebody to pass you your handbag, you don't go, pass me my handbag. You just go, pass me my handbag. Chin in, elbows open, pull up. The action creates a feeling, and that's what you bring over to the client. It's powerful. I know your glutes are on fire. Not, I know your glutes are on fire. I know this is tough. I know this is tough. I know this feels amazing. I know this feels amazing. It brings across the beauty and the secret sauce of being phenomenal, being that outlier. Nobody's like you. You're unique, right? Who needs sheep if you can be a wolf? We don't want to be sheep. We want to be the wolf in the pack, saying to the sheep, get out of the way, I'm here. This is what I do. And that's why I make a success of it. Cueing, say less. Woo, we get people talking so much. And I know it's just because you're not sure what to say. So then you say so much and you're exhausted by the end of the day. So I always teach instructors to teach in bullet points. It's a game changer. And I use this analogy all the time. You might have heard it if you've ever been on any of my courses before, especially a teaching course. I always think of being in an airplane. And the air hostesses were now getting the safety briefing. And maybe this is because I do so much of this in communication and teaching that it just really resonates with me when I watch them. And they're always talking about the procedures that you need to do. And then it's like the life jacket is underneath the chair and you're going to take it out from under the chair. Gently place it over your head. You're going to pull the string here at the bottom and it's going to inflate. If it doesn't inflate, then take the straw and blow it up. And once that is done, the oxygen mask might fall out. First, give yourself oxygen. And once you've given yourself oxygen, you can help the person next to you. And what am I doing? I'm looking at the menu. I'm like, what muffins are on sale today? Imagine she could go, danger, life jacket, under the seat. Take it out, over your head, pull the string. Doesn't work, straw, blow. It inflates. Oxygen mask, you first. Once you're done, person next to you. The world is so full of information that your brain is just going constantly, that when somebody gives you that, you can focus. So how does that relate to this? Because if you're teaching a client, let's say everybody knows a pelvic curl or a bridge, okay? So we're going to stick to that. If you're teaching somebody that, I see this a lot because we get to assess videos a lot. I want you to lie on your back for me, please. You're going to relax your arms by your sides. I want you to turn your palms up, lengthen the back of your neck, and then we're going to have a neutral pelvis. So you're going to drop your coccyx down a little bit. Your knees are going to be parallel, nice. Shift your feet a little bit back. Good. So now the pelvic curl is to articulate your spine. So I really want you to get like the best articulation that you can in your spine. So just that, I know that the instructor actually knows what she's doing. So that's a good point, but it's too much. The client hasn't moved. So I say to the instructors, don't do that. You have the info, now we condense it. What do you want them to do in the quickest way possible? Let's bullet point it. So you don't have to go, I want you to lie on your back, please, and put your arms next to your sides and turn your palms up. You go, on your back, please, palms up, neutral pelvis, feet closer, chin in, legs parallel. Inhale, exhale, peeling the spine up. This is for spinal articulation. Hold. You've told them while they were moving. Powerful. Bullet points. This means that we say less, but we impact more. They don't hear those filler words. They're thinking about breakfast, the next meeting. They have to fetch the kid. He's got a huge business deal that he has to sign, and it's going. When you do bullet points, it's a game changer. And while you're doing this, I want to encourage you to get comfortable to make eye contact with people. You've got to be able to look at them in their eyes. As soon as you do that, you get their attention. They're looking at you and you get their attention. You can't ignore me if you're looking straight at me. We know that people nowadays, you go to a restaurant and the entire family is sitting there like this. And the one's talking and they're like, yeah, and they're scrolling. It's sad. We're losing connection. As soon as you create an environment in a teaching space with exercise where you work with people with various personalities, you have to find what makes them connect. Because if you create relationships and connection, you create a long-term career. This is the longevity of your career. People need that and they want that. So you want to be able to give them that eye contact. It's a game changer. Confidence. Presence before your words. This, I'm really not keen on being here today. This, oh, my pockets aren't even open. You know, I'm here, but I'm also not here. This, I'm very unsure. This, I'm really not sure. This, moving, open, hold, reach, up higher, go over. They're like, wow, she's got like this vibe and this energy that comes with her. Try it. Try it. Thinking on your feet. All right. It says they're built on preparation and experience, and it's speed-based decisions. So thinking on your feet is being in the situation while you're teaching and then noticing that something's not working. The client's either feeling it in the wrong way, it's possibly hurting them, or they're not getting it. So thinking on your feet comes with experience. We actually do assess this in our exams to see if they can think on their feet as much as possible when they qualify. But it's something that you're going to deal with every single day. Every single day. It's a teaching skill. This is not working. The client's not getting it. It's possibly hurting them. I need to switch it up. That's where that biomechanical knowledge that you're busy building is going to come over and bridge with your teaching style. And you're going to change it, modify it at the drop of a hat. That is a crucial skill that you have to develop, because not everything in a class runs smoothly. Things go wrong all the time. All the time. Energy, the room follows you. Mirror neurons. I love this. Mirror neurons means that the client is going to match your state and your energy. So, good analogy. Client comes in, super anxious, A-type personality. Everything is stressful. Taking my shoes off is like hard work, like it's stressful. Oh my gosh, I'm late. I'm so sorry, I'm late. And they lie on the mat and I know who they are because they're always fidgeting with their hands. I can see it immediately, a mile away. And I can feel the energy. I'm really good with that. So now, I can't have them walk in and I go, hi. Because that's like not matching them, right? They're going to be like, oh my gosh, what is this? So they come in and you're like, hey, don't worry about it. We're going to do an amazing session. At the end of the session, you're going to feel so good and probably more relaxed. So I met them at that energy. And then I grab the foam roller, but I'm still at this energy. I put the foam roller down and I go, right, let's start. I want you to lie on your back on the mat. Now I've set it. Guys, I see people coming in here, and for the last 30 years that I've worked with them, in the most stressed state, walking out here like they took something just because of bringing that over to them, releasing, opening, reaching, knowing the client, getting them to mirror the energy that I want them to take on now. They don't even know that when they're in this space, I am so in control and strategic in what I am doing, and my gauge is how they walk out and how they feel in the session. And I laughed. Just this week, I was training one of my male clients, and I just love working them so hard. Like I get this joy from working them so hard. And he had a moment, and I just like, as soon as they have this moment where it's like they're at the end, there is no more reps, you cannot do another rep out of them. They just sit and they're silent, and I'm silent, and nothing's happening. Because I think they're just like so in their body at that point, they're like, please let there just be another 5 minutes of this session. I'm dying. And then I'll break the silence and go, you know, your pain is my pleasure. Just like that. They'll be like, oh my gosh, this is so hard. Just letting them know that I know exactly where they are now and how it feels. Talking a client through an exercise. So this is something that some people might not agree with. Some people say, just let people move. I don't agree with that because architects and lawyers don't know how to move properly. You get really good movers in the world, and I think my dance background gave me that. I can feel movement. I can see movement. I know when it looks uncomfortable. I know when there's too much tension than what is needed, and I really feel it in my body. If I do a small tweak, I am so aware of it. And that is a bonus from anybody who's done dancing. Dancers are phenomenal with stuff like that. What makes that powerful is I can then say that to the client. I can translate that and communicate that to the client. So I can talk them through an exercise. What do I do when I do that? I talk them through the exercise based on what it feels like for me when I do it. So, pelvic curl, sticking to the same one. So it's a good example. Inhale. Exhale, abdominals, tilt the pelvis up. You're going to super tuck the pelvis, peeling it all the way up, diagonal line, blow all the air out so that I get the ribs anchoring you here. Keep that. Tuck it through more, dig your feet in and press up higher, because that's what I do. Inhale. Exhale, relax the upper body, start peeling the spine down, massaging it on the mat, controlling it to neutral. Now, if your client has done 1,000,000 pelvic curls, you still do it because you reiterate the movement pattern in their head, and your voice is soothing and your voice is encouraging. But no voice, feels like nothing, and that's not what we want them to experience. Minimal demonstration. This is important. This is where you're going to use your body language. Every second you demonstrate is a second that you're not able to observe the client and be present for the client. So I'm not saying that you can never demonstrate. Of course you can demonstrate, but choose what you're going to demonstrate, how long you're going to demonstrate for. If they're really not getting it, get on the mat, say to them, watch me, I'm going to show you quickly. But the rest of the time, use your body language. Rotating over, rotating over. You're lying flat on your tummy. Lift your upper back up for me. Keep that. And now their head is here. And I'm like, open your chest out to the front. They can see my hand. Open your chest out to the front. Beautiful. Now, they're up here in their chest. You're going to rotate over that way. That's how I demonstrate. That's how I use my body. The art of presenting classes, how you open it, how you transition, and how you close the class. Intro, body, conclusion. I always start with breathing, centering yourself, maybe doing some opening out on the foam roller, opening the chest out from you sitting in traffic or coming here after a long day's work, and I need to just open the thoracic spine because you're stuck like this all day. Then the body of the class comes in, which is my focus for the class. This is what we're doing. I'm going in for full body today, or I'm really focusing on hip stability, or we're going to do a lot of balance work for you today, or you play polo, so this is going to be a really sport-focused session today. At the end of the class, they know we're winding down. When I start ending with 1 or 2 stretches and a massage. Now, not everybody does that. I do a really amazing just end of the session massage for my clients. I actually think that's maybe why they come. They say to me, this is the only reason I come. And it's a really nice, relaxing, let everything go. And I can hear that they get so into it because when I'm doing it, they go, every time I press down with those massage balls, they exhale, and I don't ask them to do that. This is the end. I am done. Worked so hard, ending it beautifully, stunning structure. Situational awareness of reading the room. knowing when something is uncomfortable, knowing if you've put the client in a corner and it's too much into a corner, knowing when somebody's walked in and you have not noticed them. You should have, or you noticed them and you ignored it. Situational awareness is noticing that your client is training and you're standing here like this. Your gut is going to tell you, hey, Tanya, that's not a good idea. Situational awareness is coming so close to a client like this and not realizing that this client has a personal bubble space that you've invaded. Everybody's is different. Can you feel that energy? Situational awareness is knowing in a group setting when somebody feels like they don't fit in there, or it's too much for them, it's too challenging for them. Situational awareness is when a client gives you feedback and you throw it out. You don't even respond to it. It's hurting my back, don't worry, you got 5 more. Looking at them, seeing, oh my gosh, this is super uncomfortable. They look uncomfortable. Are you uncomfortable? Yes. Okay, great, let's fix it. Situational awareness, putting clients on top of each other like this, knowing that some people have personal space and this is too close. That's part of teaching. Situational awareness, your client walks in with this vibe and you don't pick it up. You've got to be able to read people because you deal with people. Body language, I've gone through it in depth, but what I'd love you to do is film yourself teaching for 10 minutes, a 10-minute video of you teaching. And in that 10-minute video, I would actually recommend that you do a few 10-minute videos. And in each 10-minute video, you assess something different. So the first 10-minute video, you're assessing your voice, which means you don't watch the video. You film it, you then put it on play, and you don't watch it. You just listen. What do I sound like? Am I using intonations, inflections, or is it monotonous? The next video, because if you know you're filming for that, you will at least try it, okay? You're gonna try voice. Second video, body language. I'm gonna film. I know body language is what I'm trying to do now, so let me film it and see whether I can pull off this body language. I might look a bit awkward. You might look a bit awkward in the beginning. It's okay. It gets better. Nobody looks amazing when they try something the first time. Very few do, some do, but not everybody. So it's going to look awkward. So you're filming it for body language. That's what you're looking for. So that video you're going to watch. What is my body language like? Then the next one, my third video, I'm going to be filming 10 minutes to see if I can talk less and do bullet points because I'm a talker. All right, so that's your focus. The next 10-minute video is I'm not a talker at all. So I'm going to film to see whether I can talk a bit more, try those bullet points, talk the client through the exercise, and then look at it, assess it. All right, important. Rhythm. Rhythm is the full coordination of using my voice, using my body language, getting them to do the action, correcting when I need to correct, and educating them at the same time. This is for spinal articulation. Get up, hold. Really pull the pubic bone through, press up higher. You are firing your glutes and hamstrings now. Brilliant. Can you take it up a bit higher? I know you have tight hip flexors. That's why you're struggling. It's going to improve over time. Now they're like, wow, she really knows me. Okay, those are small little tips that you give them. You do that on purpose. You're feeding them. This is how clever I am. This is what I know about you. You don't want to leave me. I'm that good. It's important. So what is that pedagogic teaching framework? It's where it's kinesthetic, in other words, movement. They can feel it. People underestimate the power of feeling it. People underestimate the power of the instructor telling the client what it feels like. We're all about science, studies, biomechanics. What about the feeling of this? How many instructors are teaching the feeling of this? That comes across in your voice. It's tough. Press deeper. Massage. Go up and over. You're going to feel such a beautiful stretch right now because that's what it feels like. You're going to feel such a beautiful stretch right now. Doesn't feel like that. Then, auditory. What are you saying to them? Those bullet points, are they landing? And the visual, you, up, down, rotate over, not nowhere. Clients over there, they can't even see you, and you're hoping that they're doing exactly what you're asking them, but you're also not saying much, so maybe they're not. Here's the real problem. You going through this stuff with me, and I'm hoping that you're like, damn, nobody's ever like broken this stuff down like this before. This is insane. This is like next level. This is going to create teaching outliers, and it does. And we like learning this now, but it's all about whether you actually implement it. That's the real golden opportunity for you. Because somebody's going to watch this and go, yeah, okay, great. I've learned that. And tomorrow, they're going to go on the same path that they always do. Somebody else is going to watch this who is an action taker and go, I am implementing everything. Within 30 days, I'm going to nail this. That's how serious I am about it. Because right now in my career, I just feel like it's a bit flat. I'm missing something. And I'm looking for another course here and another course there and another course here and another course there. Maybe I just need this. Maybe this is what I actually need. So that's going to be the individual that goes straight on and implements it. How do you implement a system like this? You have to get on camera for yourself. You have to start watching yourself. You're going to judge that first video. You're going to see your right ear is bigger than your left, your nose is skew, you don't like the way you look. Everybody does that. But eventually you look past it and you're like, okay, actually, you know what? This is who I am and now I'm used to it. Even to this day, if I am next to somebody and they're busy scrolling Instagram and one of my reels comes up and I hear my voice, I'm like, oh, no, don't watch it now. Don't watch it with me sitting next to you, because listening to my own voice always feels so bizarre. And I've been doing this for a very long time. So I get that. But if you want to really change things, you're going to have to step out of your comfort zone. Put the camera on, find the client who says it's okay, tell her you're not sharing it with anybody else or him. This is just for you, and film. Keep filming. Don't stop. And see how you improve over time. You cannot do it without actually ever physically looking at it. It doesn't just happen. You're going to see you do weird things with your hands, or maybe you didn't realize your hands are behind your back, or your arms are crossed over here, or you look like this. You've got to be able to see it. Here's a challenge for you. Take 2 exercises, any exercises that you teach, and I want you to apply these 4 things. You don't have to do it perfectly, but you have to start. You have to be deliberate, and we have to try and get this going. The first one is I want you to think of a power stance. In other words, what is a good posture to show that I am confident? It's not this. It's up. It's moving, it's open. The second thing is I want you to try voice fluctuation, intonations, inflections, pauses. A pause is amazing. It gives a client a moment to reflect and react. Reflect and react. There's the pause. And you'll see that a move. They're thinking. So you create pauses, holds in your session as well. Try and focus on ending with your voice going down, down, and relax. Go deeper. Excellent. Not excellent. Excellent. Well done. Well done. Huge difference. You're not allowed to demonstrate in this video. You're going to say, don't, I know it's tempting, don't do it. Find the words, find the body language, no demonstration. If the client's really not getting it, obviously you can give a demonstration, but this is like a short video, 2 exercises. Try and not demonstrate anything. Use your words. Try and create a smooth flow from the one exercise into the next. For example, if you're doing pelvic curl, and then afterwards we're going to go into ab work or a chest lift. So you curl up and curving down, neutral, lowering it down, hands behind your head, please. I don't go lowering it down, hands behind your head. It's too quick. They don't get enough time to hear it. So lowering it down, hands behind your head. All right, now the hands are behind your head. So that's what you're going to try over there. You have to ask yourself, if you've continued to watch this video, because it is like an hour long, all right? If you've continued to watch this video, it means that you must be serious about change. Or you found it entertaining. I'm not sure which one it is. Maybe it was a little bit of both. But I would hope that even though you might have found it entertaining, there was so much value in it that you want to definitely take that next step. That you're like, I want to be an outlier. Because I look in the gym and we all look the same. I look in the Pilates studio and we all look the same. I want to be the different one. Don't be afraid to stick out. Sticking out is what's going to make you unique. It's going to make people love you. It's going to make people want to train with you. Don't be like everybody else. There's too many everybody else's and too little you authentically coming and putting yourself out there to be phenomenal. You need to stand out. You need to detox your thoughts and exposure from things on social media that's telling you the opposite of what you want to achieve. So if this is helpful, stop watching the things where people tell you that this is not important, because it's going to play with your mind, and I'm telling you that this is important. This is why instructors are struggling. So detox your social media. Detox it from people who are just constantly negative. You don't need that. We're trying to build up a positive vibe here. We're trying to build up a persona and a confidence, which means you need to stop watching negativity. You need to take action and get fully vulnerable. You need to find that confidence. It exists. You have it. I know it. You've just got to practice it. The first time you bake a cake, it flops. The second time you bake it, it flops. The third time you bake it, it's raw in the center, but it's kind of rising. The fourth time you bake it, you're like, that's not looking so bad. The fifth time you bake it, you're like, I think I'm getting the hang of this. The sixth time you bake it, you're like, this is amazing. Now I can ice it. The seventh time you bake it, you make this beautiful cake and you ice it. 7 attempts. It might take longer with this, because this is a lot of stuff that you're going to implement. So, I hope that something in this video has resonated with you. I really hope that it has just lit a little spark that says to you, there is something different out there. I was never taught this, and this is worth gold. This is gold right here. This is what's missing in my life. This is what's missing with my instructors that work for me. This is what's missing in the gym. How many times you walk past the gym, the trainer's sitting like this? Next to the client. I see it all the time. I want to pull my hair out. So I go to the gym with tunnel vision, absolute tunnel vision. I can't look left and I can't look right. Nothing's landing. Body language is like, I'm so bored, I'm so tired. It's 5 a.m. I shouldn't be here. So I want to encourage you to take the leap, dare to be different, dare to stand out. It will be the success of your career moving forward. It's incredible. Obviously, this is what we do. This is my absolute passion. You can reach out to my team. We're going to put an email address in the comment below. Reach out to my team. Let me know in the comments below what you think about this. I would love that, because I'm trying to reach as many instructors as possible. So let me know if anything here resonates with you, what you love, what you would like to see more of. I'm totally open to that. We'll put our email address below. My website address will be below, and you can just go and have a look at what opportunities there are for you that you've maybe been missing. It's so powerful. As simple as that. And if you love this, you can simply hit subscribe. Till next time, take care. Sexy.